All right, Grandam peeps, time for another how-to. Today I'm going to explain how to change out a stock radio to an aftermarket radio. Furthermore, we're going to go ahead and install a double DIN in this 99. Now, for those of you that don't know, the radios changed size in 2001. So 99 to 2000 have this dash, only allow for a single DIN radio. 2001, they made it taller, the size of a double DIN, but they actually made it more narrow. You can't just put the kit in a 99. It actually comes up about an inch short, and the bolt holes don't line up. I found little to no information on this, no pictures, really nothing. So this is going to be a really good video, I think, and hopefully I can help out a lot of people. As far as tools, if you're doing a basic install, you'll need a flathead, 7mm, possibly a Phillips, and that'll get the radio itself installed. The old one out, the new one in. As far as wiring, you'll need something that's going to cut, that's going to strip, and that's going to crimp. Now, you can do something as simple as a pair of these. These will do everything you need, but there's other things out there that you can use. Now, for supplies, I'm going to talk kind of in a general sense here, just to kind of cover all years, because there is a little bit of difference, and we'll talk as we go. So obviously, you'll need a radio. So this is a double DIN. For whatever reason, there's this measurement called a DIN, and there's two of them in here. Now, O and plus, you'll be able to put something like this in without doing much at all. 99 and 2000 is where this video is going to come into play, and you're going to have to switch to the different bezel. You're also going to need a wire harness and your dash kit. Again, this is going to be year specific. What you're going to be dealing with is 99 and 2000. It's going to have a plug like this. 2001, it doesn't have the little sections. It's just one whole open rectangle. 01 Plus also got the updated monsoon system. That's why it's very important to get your specific. Make sure your radio has some kind of instructions. That way you can wire it right the first time. Also want to point out, I have to put a pigtail in this car because the previous owners cut it out and just hardwired the radio. Don't do that. It's so easy, especially for like this year. I don't know why that adapter was like $5. Of course, like always, there's always something I forget to mention at first. The connectors. You need the connectors. Get the red ones. The red ones should be good as far as wire gauge. Now let's get started. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get all this connected to this. This will plug into the car. This plugs into the radio. So we'll get this knocked out outside of the car. That way it's ready to go. And then we'll work on getting this mounted in the car. So really, for the most part, they're going to match pretty closely color to color. All right, so here it is all put together. Your connector. You strip both ends of the wire, put an end on each side, and crimp it so that it doesn't come apart. And then for good measure, I always throw black tape over everything. As far as wire colors, like I said, for the most part, everything's gonna match color to color. For function, black's gonna be your ground, red's gonna be your ignition, yellow's your constant. You'll have 4 pairs. You'll have one solid and one with a black stripe. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the actual dash kit and work on getting this thing installed. Okay, so I have it assembled. I do know sometimes radios will come with screws, but I may have to improvise with this one just because it's used. But anyway, so here's the dash kit. So you have the main face, and then you're just going to kind of pop in these two sides. Note the orientation. From there, I'm going to go ahead and install it on the radio. Some radios will have like a metal sleeve. Here's a single DIN, for example. But then some, like this one, don't have a cage. So basically what happens is you line up, and actually I already see. Okay, so I do have some. They're about right, but basically this is all they are. Just little guys. And they're gonna go through the plastic into the radio. So you can see there, and it just holds that in place. Alright, so we're gonna get this removed as if it's a stock radio. Basically all it's gonna be is we're gonna remove the bezel and just remove the radio and unplug it. Flathead. Get sure. For this, you should be able to reach up under. Just kind of pull. That'll come out. Then you'll go ahead and unplug everything. So you'll have 2 up here. And then you would usually have the plug for the cigarette lighter. But set your e-brake. Hopefully it works. If not, throw something behind your tire. Because you're going to need to put this in the accessory. And put that all the way back. You set this to the side. Take your 7mm, 3 bolts. Pretend this is a stock radio. You would pull it out and basically just unplug it. And that's removing a stock radio. So at this point, if you were doing a normal install, basically you would just plug in the harness we made. You'll also have an adapter that goes over the stock antenna cable here. You'll plug both those in, So once you get all that hooked up, take your radio, tuck all your wires, and go ahead and bolt it in. And then put your bezel back on. Make sure you plug everything back in. Just reverse what I showed you taking out. Real simple, real easy. If you're putting a double din in a 99 or 2000, stick around. We're about to get deep into that. So kind of working, I guess, backwards. So here's your 01 Plus bezel installed. So really not much to modify. There's a little set thing right here you're gonna snap off. They moved it over to here. See these guys? So these 4 are good. These bottom 2, just remove them off the tabs. They get you this piece installed. So my idea to solve this is we're just gonna take 2 dash kits and make 1. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bolt in this guy, kind of set this in, put the center on. That way I can get an idea where I want this. All right, so here we are with the radio. I took the original one from this car and I shaved down that raised part, bolted it back in, put this guy on, and I slid just this outer piece of a double din into place to see what we got. The top lined up perfectly. All right, so here is the final product. I went and I trimmed out inside here and a little bit of the corner there on those to get those side pieces in. So they're clipped into place. And then I just did some plastic weld. Seems to be in good shape. A little bit of trimming and I'll go ahead and throw it in. All right, as I tear into this, I want to talk real quick. So there's a floor or plate right here. Get rid of that. I'm gonna clean up these edges. The double din sits down lower. And then back here, there's this big metal bracket that starts up here and actually goes all the way down to here, like so. So I have the bottom part out, working this top part, and we should be golden. All right, so we're finally done, for the most part. Everything's in mounted, bezel's on. We are gonna revisit it. How I talked about lining it up with the top, I'm also gonna scoot this over with the next one. This sticks out a little bit, so it's something to do with the HVAC. So I'm gonna see if maybe there's a way to shave. I'm gonna look at it 01 Plus to see what's different, if there is anything. But I almost wondered if I'm gonna have to do some shaving to get that to sit. But we're talking, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. Finally done, ready to move on. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.